Welcome to Jonah's Premier. This tutorial will teach you how to use our job budget. So let's get started. Once you log into Jonah's Premier, on the bottom left, you'll see the processing icon. Double-click into Project Management and there you'll see the Job Budget Control tab. You can also type in Job Budget in the quick search to automatically open up the screen. At the top, select the job that you are working on. You can simply start typing in the job number. The Job Budget Control screen is a very useful screen for project managers because in a matter of seconds they can quickly see if they're over and under on any of the budget line items. This screen merges in the information that you uploaded into the original estimate screen. From here, the project manager can easily select any of the line items and quickly generate subcontracts, purchase orders, or even change orders. Before you get started, you may want to give yourself some more room on the screen, so simply unpin the menu over on the left-hand side. Also, similar to all the other screens in Jonas, you can easily adjust the width of the columns or easily drag and drop to put the columns in your preferred order. This does not affect any other users. Finally, a feature you'll use quite often in the screen is the filter, which is found beside each of the headers. For example, you may quickly want to find a cost item line item or a cost type. Let's go ahead and filter by all subcontract line items. At the bottom, click on Filter. You'll notice the filter is on because it's highlighted in yellow. Let's take a look at these columns. Listed are the cost items, the description, the cost types, the original estimate, your approved change orders, which if you add the two, it equates to your current estimate, your cost to date, any outstanding commitments, and the remaining budget. The remaining budget is the most important column on this report. From here, a project manager can quickly see if they're over or under on any of the line items. With that in mind, they can easily choose to issue subcontracts, purchase orders, or change orders from the screen. Since we've filtered by all subcontract line items, let's create some subs. Notice there's an amount in the remaining budget. You can choose to click Use All for it to pre-fill that into the new amount column. You can double-click and change the amount. You can also select the vendor. It pulls from a drop-down of your existing vendors, so you can choose which subcontractor to allocate the work to. Let's choose another line item. In this case, we can change the dollar amount that we want to allocate the work for. Select a subcontractor. It can be a different subcontractor as the work may be different. Let's also allocate a third line item. But in this case, let's enter an amount that is higher than the remaining budget. So you can see the remaining budget is $9,000. Let's allocate $15,000. Automatically, you get a warning that populates to indicate that you're going over your budget. Considering we entered in 3 line items, let's go ahead and at the bottom, click on Generate Subcontracts. This pushes all the information directly into the subcontract management screen. The great thing about it is it pre-fills the majority of the information. At the top of the grid, you can see the status is equal to pending. You still have to post these entries. It gives a project manager an opportunity to review the entries and enter in any additional information. For example, on the main tab, you may want to add a scope of work, or you may want to add a description, or you may even want to change the form design that's allocated or any additional information. The next tab in the subcontractor screen is the details. The great thing about this, it pre-fills all the information from the job budget control screen, including the amount and the distribution. This way, a project manager doesn't have to key anything in. It automatically allocates the job, the cost type as for subcontract, and the cost item. At the bottom left, you can enter in the percentage for your holdback or retainage. You can also set this up as a default in the job setup screen. Let me show you quickly where that is. Quickly enter in jobs in the quick menu. This is where you set up your jobs. There's a tab called Billing. Within the Billing tab, there's a field for percentage holdback or retainage. If you enter in a percentage here, It will default that percentage every time you set up a subcontract agreement. However, you can change it when creating the subcontract agreement. It helps you save valuable time. When entering a subcontractor, you may also want to track compliances. Compliances can be entered on the vendor or subcontract level, depending on if they're annual renewals or if they're specific to a job. Here, while entering a subcontractor, you can check whether you've received the key documents. These compliances are completely configurable by your administrator. You can also enter in any custom fields that can be defined by your business and easily add any related documents. To add a document, click on the Upload button on the bottom left. You can also drag and drop documents within this screen. Once you upload a document, you can tag it using the document type. This is a configurable drop-down list. The document management system automatically tracks all the details such as the date, the time, who uploaded the document, the size, even different versions. Once you finalize the subcontract agreement and reviewed it, you can go ahead and post it. This will generate the subcontract number on the form. This is why it's important to post and then print. When you post a subcontract, this acts as a committed cost against your job. When an AP invoice is posted, that is an actual cost. Let's go ahead and print it so we can take a look at it. Just a reminder that the appearance of the subcontractor form is completely configurable by you. Our form designer opens up in Microsoft Word, which means you can easily copy and paste any clauses, exemptions, etc. You have full control over the full look and design and feel of the form. On the main tab is where you actually choose which form you're using. Sometimes users have multiple form designs that they apply. Let's go ahead and post the second subcontract agreement from the job budget. Notice in this case, it provides you a warning at the top that the committed cost is exceeding the estimate. This is also a feature you can turn on in the job setup. This audit trail shows you the committed cost posting to the job. It will store automatically. In More Actions, you can go ahead and print a copy of it. Any of the documents that are printed or emailed out of our software will automatically store in the Document Management tab. Now that we've posted and printed the subcontract agreements, let's jump back into the Job Budget control screen. Since we left the tab open, remember to reload the page. That way, it'll update the committed costs we've just posted. To take a look at the records we just entered, let's filter by subcontract cost types. The column to look at is the remaining budget. You can see for one of the line items we're over because we allocated more than what we've estimated. Also, for existing conditions, we still have a remaining budget of $6,000. And for the cost item temporary construction, we have a remaining budget of $0. At the top, you can filter by your over or under budget line items. At the top right, it shows you what you're over by. You can also filter by under budget line items. Or you can choose for the grid to show all the entries. At the top right, it keeps a running total. You can also issue purchase orders for material items. So let's filter the job budget control screen by cost type equals material. This displays the line items estimated for material. It also displays the remaining budget. From here, check Use All. You can enter in the full amount or change the dollar amount. Select the vendor from whom you'll be ordering the supplies from. You can enter in one or multiple line items. Let's go ahead and enter in another line item and change the dollar amount. If you exceed the estimated amount, you will get a warning. Select the vendor and let's generate the purchase orders at the bottom left. This will automatically push the information from this screen into the purchase order screen. This saves you valuable time because you don't have to rekey any of the information. In the grid, you'll see the status is set to pending. From here, you can change any of the information down below. You can also change the form design. You can add any of your reference fields, etc. In the Lines tab is where you'll find all the details. As you can see, all the information populated, including the amounts and the distribution. it allocated to the job, cost type M for material, and the cost item. You can enter in more details related to the items or add additional comments. You can review a summary, and then in More Actions, you can go ahead and post it. You can also email it, send it for approval, or even preview it. At the bottom, when you post, that's when it generates the actual purchase order number. It also hits as a committed cost against your job. After posting, you can print or email your purchase order as the PO number has now been generated. Let's jump back into the job budget control screen. Considering the tab was open, remember at the top right to reload the page. Let's take a look at the cost type material. Now you can see that the remaining budget has changed because we posted the committed cost. On concrete, you can see we're over budget. On the cost item for plumbing, you can see there's $0 left in the remaining budget. Let's clear the filter. Next, let's generate a change order. In Premiere, you can generate internal change orders or owner change orders with markups. For the first example, let's create an internal change order. In this example, I'll allocate some of the remaining budget from one cost item to another. Enter in a negative number for the amount you're removing out of the line item and add the positive number in the other cost item line item. You do not have to select vendors as this is an internal change order. You will receive a message that you are going over budget. Ignore the message. At the bottom left, click on Generate Change Order. This merges into the change order screen. The summary is at the top, and at the bottom, all the details are listed. You can flag this as an internal change order. You can add a description or any additional lines. In the More Actions tab, you can approve this change order. Let's jump back to the job budget screen to review our changes. Remember to click Reload at the top of the page. As you can see, for the line item concrete, the approved change order number has been updated. Next, let's add an owner change order with a markup. This is a fast way to do it. If you're looking to gather more details, you may choose to use the Pending Change Notice module. Let's filter by only subcontract cost types. Select a line item that you want to generate the change order for. Enter in the amount. If you're going to include a subcontractor on this change order, select a vendor. At the bottom left, click on Generate Change Order. This will push it into the change order screen. At the top, the status is equal to pending. Also, the information down below populated. Down below, it lists the vendor, but you can tie this subcontract change order back to the original subcontract agreement. The costs have been entered, but the revenue line item has not been entered. You can manually calculate your own revenue and add in a line item, or over at the top right, you can enter in a percentage and have the system automatically calculate the revenue based on the percentage entered. Down below, select the cost item revenue and the cost type revenue. You can have this default by setting it up in your job setup. This way, you don't have to make the selections. In the Documents tab, you can easily click on the Upload button or simply drag and drop any documents that you want to attach. Once you've completed it, in the More Actions, you can print it to review it and send it off for approval. If you've already received final approval, you can go ahead and approve it. When you approve the change order, you have the option for it to automatically create the subcontract change order as well. You can click this flag on and off depending on what you want it to do. If you select it, it will automatically open up the tab called Subcontract Change Order. The status will be set as pending, meaning it has not yet posted the subcontract change order. You have the opportunity to review it. You can change the form design and review the details that were merged in. You can add any comments, etc. From here, in More Actions, you can print and approve the subcontract agreement. Just a reminder, this is a completely configurable form that you can design, and you can have different templates for different subcontracts. A copy of that document automatically stores in the document management system. From here, you can also email the documents out and attach any additional documents. Also, in the More Actions tab, if you made a mistake, you can revise the subcontract agreement at any point in time. Let's jump back to the Job Budget Control screen. At the top right, remember to reload the page. From here, we'll filter into that one cost item. As you can see, the approved change order amount is now listed. As you can see, this is a useful screen for project managers because they can see the remaining budget on a line-by-line basis. Also, they can easily generate subs, purchase orders, and change orders right from this screen. I hope you enjoyed this session on the Job Budget Control screen.